start. Hi guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're thriving. You're welcome back to my channel. My name is Doreen, and as you can see, we have guest segment today. Our guest is Miss Sarah Aporo. You're so welcome. Good to have you here. We are going to talk about so many things from relationships as she shares her story, and I hope we learn a thing or two. Yeah, so I'm going to allow you, Sarah, to introduce yourself before we go to the icebreaker.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doreen, for having me in your channel. I'm so glad that you've taken time to think that I should really be part of this. Just like Doreen has mentioned, I'm called Sarah Aporo, and I'm so privileged to introduce myself as an HIV activist. Besides that, I work at Macquarie University Business School. I do lots of things that impact the nation, and most especially impacting the lives of the youth. Yeah, that's a brief about myself.
Thank you so much. You look so lovely. I'm so excited to have you here. I remember our last meeting when we were supposed to meet. Life happened, but we couldn't meet. But we are glad and excited that we have these virtual meetings or virtual programs that we can use to still go ahead and conduct these meetings, even when we're in different places. So I'm so excited to have you on my channel. I have known Sarah for a long time. She's like my little sister. You know, I look out for her. I love her so much. And I'm so excited that she agreed to come and share her story with us. I remember telling her, share what you want, what you don't want, just leave it out. But she's so passionate about what she does that she doesn't actually want to leave anything out. And I know your story is going to reach so many people. But before we start the story, we have an icebreaker. What is your best and worst childhood memory?
My best childhood memory is coming back from school and running, sitting on my dad's lap. That was in kindergarten. That experience still sticks in my mind, that coming back from school and, you know, finding dad and sitting on his laps and having a good time together with my dad. I think I enjoyed so much with my dad. Then worst childhood memories is when I would fight with my elder sibling. Yeah, those things of I'm the youngest in the home, so somehow you would feel like you want to also be an elder. Yeah, so that was one of my worst.
Oh, yeah, I can so relate with those childhood memories, you know, hanging out with parents and all, and then fighting for attention. But for you, a last born, I know you got all the attention you wanted from the parents. For us who were firstborns, it was tight. It was for real fighting and hustling. Yeah, so we are going to start from the beginning. You're going to share with us your story, what you'd want us to know, the lessons that you have learned. One thing I know that has helped you with your story is your faith. So you also put that faith factor into it. Generally, you know, like, just tell us your story.
Okay, I think my story started way back when I was born. Sometimes I think my story did not only start when maybe certain hard things happened in my life. My story started from when I was born, growing up as a child. Everything was okay, going to school, living a life that is relatively okay. Then you know, we get hit by life events here and there.
Yeah.
So which sometimes it isn't something that we really want to happen to us. But yeah, if that's a part of my story that I would want me to share today, I'm really very much privileged to do that. My story started in 2017. Okay, yes, there is my good life story. Then I was hit by something that happened to me in 2017 that changed so much about what I talk about, how I relate with people, the kind of things I share with people. So it's really been good, if I can say, from day one. it's been God taking me through all my life. And when I got to 2017 after my university, I was already working at the university where I work at right now, the same university where I studied. And I can say it's something that I never expected would ever cross my mind, having to deal with this at a very young age. Maybe just to, it's quite abroad, but let me just summarize it in, it was one fateful event that happened in my life. It was an afternoon. I went to the health center where I work, and I told the doctor that I would like to do an HIV test. And yeah, they ask you questions here and there. And that afternoon, it was 2nd of February 2017. That day, I'll never forget it. I went, did a test, and boom, the tests were positive. So I looked at my life, and that is when my journey of activism started. Trust me, I would say it started then, because that is when the reality of everything hit me. Having at the age of 21, getting to know that you're HIV positive, you've just got out of the university, you've just started your career in work, it was quite a hit for me. So to me, that is when the whole journey of living positive started. And that is when my story of being HIV negative ended, and another story of being HIV positive started, which was in January 2017. It's been quite a journey of discoveries. I've got to discover so much that before, when I was negative, I didn't know some of these things. But that would 4 months after getting to know my status, I realized that there has been a lot of gap among the youth. The stories were being shared, but we didn't see the faces to the stories. Yes, we would know that the people who are HIV positive living out there, but we didn't see the faces. So I decided to show my face out there. Working at a university, I thought there are students who needed to know that, yes, HIV is there, and there are people among us who have HIV. So to me, it was 4 months after discovering my status, I decided to say, I am not going to keep my status to myself. I am going to go out there and preach the gospel and tell them, yes, it's possible. People are living with HIV. You can live a better life, but still, you just cannot look at us and know that we are HIV positive. So you need to take precautions to ensure that you do not join our clique of being positive. Yeah, so that's a brief about where my story started.
Your story is so inspirational. Of course, for me, I know like from the beginning how everything went down, and how you are handling, like I always tell you that you have a lot of courage. Like you have a lot of courage. And I remember telling you when you came and told me about it, I remember telling you, Sarah, go and look for a passport. Do you remember? I told you, Sarah, look for a passport. You are going to go places. The confidence you have, you know that the activism that you have, like maybe this is like what God wants you to do for the people who are out there, because stigmatization of HIV is, it is so high. It is so high, and very many people are living with it, and so many people did not acquire it, like they did not go out there and they were like, HIV, come and get me, Yeah, so sharing your story openly, really inspires me so much. It's from the stories that we share that someone else, is inspired. I would like to take us back from, like how it happened. If you don't mind sharing that bit of it about your partner. You may not say the name or the whole story, all those things, but so that someone can avoid such occurrence.
I would say, I can confidently say I'm a Christian, I'm a born-again Christian. And, getting to know you're positive, and not only positive, maybe you are born with it, or maybe it was an accident and you got it. This is a status that I came to get out of a sexual relationship that I was in. I compromised on my standards by getting getting into sexual intercourse with my boyfriend then. And it was quite tricky in that, yes, we believed for abstinence until such a time that we got into it and I got to contract the virus. But one thing that beats my understanding is amidst the waiting, amidst the waiting, and finally you get to you get to interact sexually, and you find out that you are actually negative, then this person was positive. That means probably the person was sleeping around or something, because being in a relationship that we are not intimate, that means both of us should have really kept ourselves. But the journey was quite tricky for me, because being a Christian, it was a hard blow. Coming out public, that means you're coming out, you're putting your dirty linen out, that yes, you are a Christian, but you're there having sex and all that. But to me, the courage that brought me to this point is I have somewhere to run to, you know, that the fact that I'm born again, I'm Christian, I have acknowledged that yes, whatever I did was wrong. I had to go down to my knees and ask for forgiveness and tell God that, you know what, yeah, this has happened to me, but I come back to you again. It was a crazy moment, because the man I was with, I did not test with before having sex with. I did not take precautions, and neither did he try to tell me that, Sarah, you know what, this is my condition. Upon asking him, he tells me, yeah, he didn't know, but he eventually, when we met after some time, he tells me he apologized for whatever happened. He, up to now, he still calls me. He thinks I've not forgiven him. So but I'm one person who lets go, and I forgive so easily. But the fact that I get out to forgive someone who infected me with HIV, this is a condition that you live with for the rest of your life. This is a condition that you'll have to take your medication every day. But by the mere fact that I told him, yes, you've moved on with your life, I've moved on with mine, I have forgiven you, he still cannot believe it. But this is something that if he had told me he was positive, I probably would have taken more precautions and all that. But at the end of the day, it was a hard blow for me. It was hard for me to come out and really accept that this is me. It took a lot of counseling. I remember the time I would come to you. I remember the time that I would do lots of things to ensure that my mental state is actually okay. I remember going for counseling. I had to do several things to ensure that life is really what it should really be.
Thank you so much for sharing with us the backstory. And one of the things that you kept sharing, even on your status or even when we would be in cell, in fellowship, was that despite other people sharing that, like, taking the medication like affects them, because of standing on God and because of standing on the promises of God, like even when you take medication, like you did not have any side effect. You know, that is something that encouraged me so much. I was like, you know, God has not forgotten his child. Like, he still takes care of his child. And I'm truly grateful to God for that. I'm grateful to God for the fact that you publicly, you know, came out and tell everyone your status and what happened, so that someone else may not go through that same route. Maybe they would take better precaution in such a circumstance. So what are the ways that you think that someone could avoid? Of course, I know they teach those things in primary, but you know, for you've been there, you know, you can share that journey. Like, what are the ways that you think that those who have not yet can avoid, and even those who have? Because right now, I think your viral load is so low that it's undetectable. And I thank God for that state that you're at. Yeah, like on paper right now, you're HIV negative, you know? So encourage.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So I'll just, when you were sharing, I just kept reflecting on myself, and I think everything works for a reason. You know, if I wasn't positive, I wouldn't maybe, I always tell people that maybe God allowed this to happen to myself so that I can be an inspiration to people. I could go to places I've never been. Because of my status, I had to travel. Yes, just like you said, I had to travel to Netherlands to go and speak to people. Like if I didn't have this, maybe certain things wouldn't have happened in my life, and probably I wouldn't be doing this video with you.
Yeah, now we would be talking about other things. We would do
Yes, probably. So
things.
everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. It's been, to me, it's been God for the 2017 until now. I'm almost making 5 years on treatment. I haven't had any side effect, any evident side effect for all my blood draws. Everything they keep telling me, Sarah, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. I have not struggled to pick my medication. Even during the lockdown, the center where I go to, they had to come and pick me from home to take me to the care center. Now, that is God. That is God. This doesn't happen to everyone else. But by the fact that it's happening to me, even in this state, to me, I say it's God. In that he uses me to, even in my pain, I can say pain in quotes because I'm working, I go to church, I do everything like anyone else does. But the only difference is I take medication every day. And there are people out there who take medication for other illnesses. But to me, it's been God from day one, Doreen. I can confidently tell you that from the fact that my viral load is undetectable. I cannot transmit HIV sexually. I cannot, like, everything is okay. I've not had any rejection from family. My friends have been so supportive. It's, everything works together for the good of those that love the Lord. I can just conclude and say that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you sit back and think about how, you know, how God orders our steps. The Bible says we cannot understand the things of God, like you've said, that maybe that could have been your purpose, but then maybe God didn't know a way of how to bring it together. Yeah, but we thank God for the headspace that you're in right now. I thank God that you're an encouragement to every person there, to, you know, showing them that it is okay. One of the things that personally I don't, you know, do, or that I encourage people to not do, is to, you know, stigmatize people that have different illnesses. Or even, let me bring an example close to home. Imagine talking about someone that they have had sex, yet you're also having sex, but just that your fruits have not been seen, like their fruits. Or someone has gotten pregnant, they have had sex and have gotten pregnant, you've had sex and you have not. Someone has had sex and gotten maybe an STD, you've had sex and you've not. Like, you know, that sin kind of thing, like, just because you've not seen the fruit of the consequences of your sin physically doesn't mean that the consequences are not there, even the spiritual consequences. Yeah. So me, I'm grateful to God that you're in a headspace of where you've, you know, sought forgiveness from God, forgiven the person that even put you in that state. Like you've said, we can only, you know, give it back to God. It could only be God, like it can only be God. So I'd like you to encourage someone out there, you know, who is going through this. I'm sure you've seen very many people that have lost hope, people that have almost given up. I would like you to say a word of encouragement to them so that they can keep moving.
Yes. Before I can encourage someone out there, I would just like to advise people out there that let's take personal responsibility of ensuring that we do not contract this virus. It takes a lot to live with it. It takes doctor's appointment, it takes taking drugs every day. So if you still have a chance of not contracting it, I could say, yes, the power is in your hands, but also those who are relating, maybe husband, wife, it's both your responsibility to protect each other. If you're a wife, it's your responsibility to ensure that you protect your husband through being faithful, through sticking to one another and keeping to your vows. So my encouragement to someone out there who is living positive, I cannot tell you it's 100% okay. It's something that we all need to work and deal with it, and first get to that point where you accept and know that this is something that I need to live with. There is nothing much we can do about it. We just need to live with it. It's not something that you will, get to accept in a day. I've lived with it for close to 5 years, but every day it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Do not beat yourself up because you feel you're positive. You can always adhere to your medication, take very good care of yourself. I can confidently say I've never been bedridden because I'm positive. It's never been a reason why I shouldn't come for work. It has never been a reason why I shouldn't go on my knees and thank God. It has never been a reason why I shouldn't live my life to the fullest. You've been with me. I host people in my house. We do a lot of fun activities. It has never been a barrier to my success. I'm still pursuing my goals. So if you're out there and you're positive, do not make you feel like, no, life has ended. No. You can still achieve your dreams to the fullest. Yeah, that's so true. You can always achieve your dreams to the fullest. And if you have someone who is around you who is positive, do not stigmatize them. We are actually, if you compare HIV to the current pandemic that we are on, you'd notice that Corona is worse than HIV in one way or the other, because here we can't really, with HIV, I can hug you and you never get it. But now with the current pandemic we are on, it's social distancing. So you get to actually weigh and say that, why have I really even been stigmatizing people who are living with HIV? Yet they can't really transmit just by holding my hand or by hugging me. And the support that you give, I can say my life journey has really been smooth because I've received massive support from all through, from my workplace, from my friends, from my family. Now, if all persons who are living with HIV have that support, then we would surely have healthy people who are living with HIV away from stress. So let's support one another. Let's find ways of ensuring that people who are negative remain negative. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because you're an advocate, I don't know how you can help. I don't know if we can share your number, like on the video on the screen, so that people can maybe contact you, or if there's like an office number that of the organization of the activism. I know there's a lady you work with. I've forgotten her name. I don't know if they have like a professional number. Maybe you'll give it to me so that I can put it on the screen, so that anyone who is struggling, who is going through something like that, can reach out and talk to you guys and be encouraged.
So I do most of my activism or my advocacy on my Facebook page. My Facebook page is my name, my full name, Sarah Aporo. You'll get me there. And also I do lots of outreaches. I volunteer with having a full-time job at the university. I do more of volunteering with organizations. Currently, I'm volunteering with Barbara Kemegisha Foundation and Tokens of Life Foundation. I volunteer. We reach out to several schools. We reach out to the grassroots, the rural areas. We realize there's so much information that does not reach the grassroots. So I do a lot of volunteering with the two organizations, Barbara Kemegisha Foundation and Tokens of Life Uganda. So but if you want to reach me, yes, on Facebook, I'm always available. Even now, I'm available, though I'm not having my phone, but I'm always available for those who reach out to me on Facebook through my messenger. Then also I will share with my number with Doreen so that he can share with everyone out there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah, I know you said if it wasn't for that, you'd not be here. Trust me, there's a lot more about you or to you. There's a lot more about you that the world needs, and you know that you can offer to the world. We'll probably be talking about friendship, which we are going to do. I'm very sure we're going to do a sit down and we talk about friendship, you know, and all those things. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing your story from the heart. I know very many people have been encouraged. If there's anything else that you'd like to share, you can go ahead, like a parting shot. Though after that, we have a game. So you gear up for the game.
Okay, my parting shot is we are one. Let's just embrace each other, no matter what you're struggling with, be it you may be struggling with an addiction, you may be struggling with accepting a condition that you're in, whatever condition that you're in, just know we are one. We are one, and we can join our hands together and fight for each other. We shall not grow by putting others down. We shall grow by uplifting each and everyone that is around in our space, in our village.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being here. So we're going to play a game. It's called Would You Rather? You know, every guest that I have on my channel, they take part of this game. So the first one is, would you rather be beautiful or rich?
I would, that's a tricky word. Yeah. I would rather be rich. Because beauty is relative. You're rich. Your beauty is relative. I mean, what I may see as beautiful may not be beautiful to others. So to me, I'd rather be rich.
All right. Another one is, would you rather be sweaty or ashy? You know, like you either sweat a lot or you are pale. You know, that paleness of being as if ashy. What would you rather be?
I would rather be ashy. I'd rather be ashy. Okay, sweating is quite uncomfortable. Yeah. But okay, sweating is quite uncomfortable. No. I would rather be ashy.
Yeah, I think I'd also be ashy and then look for ways of how to control that, you know. But sweat, it's just too much.
It's uncomfortable. I'll do anything to ensure I'm not sweating.
Yes, another one is, would you rather be watched or always followed? Like someone or something is watching you always, or someone or something is following you?
I would rather be followed. That means I need to up my game. Every time I'm doing anything, I need to be there, up on the top. So yeah, I would rather be followed.
Oh, another one, and the last one is, would you rather read your spouse's mind or your baby's mind?
My baby's mind.
Okay. You don't want to know what goes through in those men's heads.
Yeah, those men's heads, they're mature. They can always deal with their things. But I think a baby is young, could be crying, and I don't know why you're crying. So I'd rather read your mind. For a man, I'm seeing tears. Maybe I can easily notice what is going through their mind. But I will see a baby crying, and I don't know why they're crying. Do they want to sleep? Do they want to eat? Do they want to feed or something? Yeah, I'd rather read my baby's mind.
Oh, Sarah, it was so lovely to have you on my channel. I'm so grateful that finally this meeting has happened. If you're watching and you have a question or a query about the topic that we've been discussing, comment in the comment section below. If you've not yet watched all the other videos, please go and watch. They are all awesome, like this one. Sarah, you look beautiful. I'm so
you look beautiful too. You need to.
So grateful to have you here. And on this channel, we always say progress is progress, no matter how small. So keep moving, keep growing, and keep glowing. And I can attest to that, because for you, like, you're a living testimony of that statement. You are growing, you are glowing, you are progressing. And I'm super excited to be part of your journey. Thank you so much for coming, Sarah. Thank you guys for watching. See you again next time. Bye. Thank you.